Introducing enemies. Essentially, all enemies are hazards that move. You know the drill by now. Start out by creating a new sprite, ideally something that looks a bit menacing. That means looks a bit cunning. Give him a collider, make him a trigger. So basically, we have to make an enemy here. Give him collider, make him a trigger, and create a prefab. Then attach as a hazard script so he is functionally the same as the spikes. Now we are attaching a hazard script to it. Take a read through that and see if you can work out how it works. Got it? Of course you did. But just in case, essentially we have two public variables that we can set from the inspector. The speed called the speed and the distance that the object will move called amount to move. When the object is created at runtime, it also checks to get its current x coordinate. So x is a variable here. The direction can be 1 or 0, and like all integers it's set to 0, the default when script starts. So the script then asks if the current position is smaller than my start point plus the distance I have to move. Move to right at speed, but only if I am moving right. Once the object goes past that point, that means uh, bigger than or equal to. So this sign means bigger than or equal to. It will then change the direction to 1. When the direction is 1, the reverse logic is applied until the character is equal to or smaller than start position, at which point direction switches back to 0 and we go right again. Now if you add this script to the bad guy along with the hazard script, you should have a game object that moves left and right and kills the player when it comes into contact with them. Notice how you can achieve impressive results without having to rewrite out lots of code. So without writing a lots of code, we can achieve impressive results. Just combine multiple scripts in unique ways. The sky is the limit. So we are combining the multiple scripts. Now pushable objects. While we are adding all these different kinds of objects and elements, let us add one more that is really nice and simple, a pushable crate. So here we are creating a crate or a box which is pushable and which is movable. All you need to do is introduce a game object that has a collider and rigid body, just like the player. This will then allow you to interact with that object by pushing it or even dropping it into your water. So we can push that object and even we can drop that object into water also. This creates a lot of potential gameplay mechanics and challenges, and it could not be simpler. Remember though, if your character is going to be able to jump off the crate, they need to have their layer set to ground. Now using materials. Before I close this chapter, let me address one small thing that still is not quite right with the object in our game world, the slidiness. You have probably noticed that Squarey likes to slide around all over the place like he is on ice. So we have introduced the slidiness, which does not look right and is rather hard to control. To fix this, we are going to create a material and apply it to topsoil. So we are creating a material and we are applying it to top of our soil. To do this, you are going to create a folder called materials and then new physics material 2D RMB, that is right mouse button, then create, then physics material 2D, call this ground. Now select that material to view it in the inspector and you will see that you can change two properties, bounciness and friction. So this material has friction and bounciness. As you might have guessed already, friction controls how much friction a particular surface has. Change this to zero point 0.6 for a bit more ground control and bounciness to zero point 0.1. So here we are changing friction and bounciness. For an imperceivable judder when squarey lands, now select the topsoil prefab and in the inspector and find the material option beneath Box Collider 2D, not the one under Sprite Renderer. Choose the ground material you just created and it should automatically apply to all the grassy tiles in your game. Try running and jumping now and things should be easier to control. Materials like this provide a useful way to add properties to various game objects and we will see more uses of them later on. So these are properties which we apply on various game objects and these are useful properties.